Dear subscribers, today I would like to address one of the two major inconveniences which I experience here at my Tesla Model Y Juniper related to the headlights, specifically related to the high beams. So here is what's happening. This Tesla Model Y Juniper is equipped with fantastic matrix headlights, specifically when it comes to the high beams, so they adapt to the oncoming traffic, and since these are the full LED lights, they are able to turn off certain sections of the LED and avoid blinding the oncoming traffic. However, when the lights are in auto mode, and they are in auto mode right now, so if I were to engage drive and if I were to press and hold a high beam, then if you look here, you see there is a high beam icon and with the letter A inside, meaning that my headlights are set to auto high beam. That's auto and auto high beam respectively. But I'm driving this car for the last 7 months, and what I noticed is not so good, that in conditions like this now, so we have a lot of snow outside, and it's actually a pitch black. It's it's about 5 o'clock in the evening, but it's pitch black outside, as you can see. But because of in this case particularly today, and as well as in any other snowy day with the snow on the road, because maybe because of the reflections of the light from the snow coming back into the headlights, what's happening that I cannot force the car, I cannot make the car actually to turn the high beams. What's happening now? So I am on this road, I'm stationary. Even if I was driving, doesn't matter, it's the same case. The low beams are sufficient, but I will definitely benefit from the high beams. Like, look, especially on the side of the road, high beams are much wider, and of course they are shining taller, so I can see what's hiding on the side of the road in the trees, like so specifically the night animals, which is very relevant here in Norway. It can be a moose, it can be a deer or fox or whoever else, a little small rabbit. So I would really want the car to turn on the high beams in the middle of the nowhere on the country road when it's a pitch dark, pitch black outside. But the car is not turning the high beams automatically, neither it allows me to turn the high beam, kind of to try to force the car to turn the high beam and actually benefit from using the high beams, because they really do give much more visibility. What's strange, that the car does not act in a smart way to actually understand the user input and let me force the car to turn on the high beams and keep them on. Why this is strange? Because like 1.5 years ago, when the Cybertruck was released, it was a similar, I would call it the software similar issue with a powered frunk on the Cybertruck. What was happening, that many users started to put a carrot in the trunk, in the frunk, and force close the frunk, and frunk initially was smashing the whatever was vegetable there, a cucumber or carrot, doesn't matter. So then Tesla adjusted a little bit, so in order to prevent closing lid of the closing hatch of the frunk to smash the obstacle there. It worked once, and then Tesla programmed it so that if you still press the close button on the front, the Cybertruck, the car, which will react in a smart way and kind of understand, okay, the first time it was an obstacle, but the user still inputs the command to close the front. Maybe he really needs me to close the front, and then the car will actually force the front to close it and eventually close it. Like in the scenario, if you have a little carry-on luggage, you put it in the front, you try to close it first time, it hits against the luggage a little bit, it stops, but there is still kind of not so critical obstruction to actually prevent the front from closing. So user gives an input and then car initially closes the front. I would really want to address that. I think that Tesla can eventually program the high beams in a similar way. If I am in this kind of conditions, it's a pitch dark, even it's a snow, and maybe I understand that the smart headlights, they do get some reflections back from the snow and kind of think that it is not so dark. I would like that Tesla actually programs it that way, that if I drive and I press and hold the high beam and they are in auto, car does not allow me to go in auto, okay, then I press and hold again, and I would like that my command is recognized that I really want the high beams now engaged. And this would be a huge benefit, because this not only happens in snow, but also if it's like a dusk, not really bright daylight, of course, and not a pitch black like now, let's say without snow. And it happened to me many times, like in October, when it was like an evening time, just like a dusk, and I would still, of course, have benefited from having the high beams, but the car would not allow me to do so, and I was trying 10 times pushing and holding the high beam button many times, and it was not successful. What I ended up doing is just press and hold and then turn the auto high beams off, and just use in manual, and eventually end up using the high beams in manual. But when using the high beams in manual, the matrix feature, which avoids blinding the oncoming traffic and also avoids blinding the cars in front of you driving the same direction, they avoid blinding them in the rear view mirror by also switching section of the headlights. That feature, this matrix headlights feature, is not available when you go into the high beams in manual. So the user has to like more traditionally turn the high beams on and off, on and off, on and off. And when it's a busy highway and so many cars are coming, you just constantly clicking the high beam button, and this is not convenient, honestly. So the matrix feature, as good as it is, and actually it's actually excellent. I have never been blinked once over the 7 months of using this car. I have never been blinked once with high beams matrix lights. So it's super cool. It really works well with one car coming on you, with 2 cars, with 3 cars, with several cars coming on you and a couple of cars in front of you. It's so perfect. But very strangely enough, it does not allow me. Like let's drive, okay? And I will just demonstrate it the very last time. Okay, I am now merging, and as you can see here, it's just the low beams. Now I press and hold. You see, it tries. I'm still holding the knob. Now I let go the knob, and you see, I would really benefit now from having the high beams, because I see much better the side of the road, much better. I see much further ahead and much higher ahead. but the car does not allow me to engage, no matter how many times I press and hold and try to engage the high beams, because of that's what I think, because of the light reflecting from the mirrory snowy surface on the road, coming back into the headlights. See, I would definitely benefit from having high beams now, but now I have to drive simply without the high beams. You see, low beams, high beams, low beams, high beams, and it's pitch dark. Like it's see, it's pitch dark. It's like in the middle of the night, but still, it's very strange. So if Tesla can program in such a way that the car will recognize the user input, and maybe after a couple of times of a forced turning on high beams, it will eventually understand, okay, maybe you the user and you really need high beams now. It will allow me to do so. I think that was it, and the next video I will be doing will be about what was that, about wipers. So stay tuned and subscribe to my channel Tesla Impressions, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.